Handoff right up the middle. Looks like they'll be down to the 45-yard line. Georgia Eagles in the orange and white. Handoff right up the middle. He has some room. And a flag will come in late in that play. Opening drive for the Eagles. Bessemer in the purple and yellow, like the LSU Tigers. And so it looks like we'll have a face mask on that particular play. Strong run as he runs over a defender. And gets down to maybe the 20.5-yard line. They'll come out with their high tempo offense. And the Tigers will call a timeout. They didn't like their alignment. They didn't like what they saw. So timeout, Bessemer Tigers. Score 0-0 opening drive for the Georgia Eagles. Thank you for tuning in for 9 and under action. The national champs, Bessemer Tigers in the yellow and purple. Georgia Eagles, the challenger. They earned the right today. If they get past this game, they go to the championship round tomorrow here at the YNC preseason battle. Second and 5 for Georgia Eagles. Quarterbacks and shotgun trips, receivers to the top of your screen. Handoff to the left-hand side. Nothing there as the Eagles are tackled in the backfield. That's a loss of 2 on the play. That brings up 3rd and 6 for Georgia. Tries to get outside. Flags on the play. Won't have any room there as Bessemer's defense is all over the play. That'll be a loss of 4. Let's see what the play is. And it's going to be holding against the Eagles. Eagles come out in shotgun. Trips receivers to the bottom of your screen. Quarterback scans the field. He'll throw across the middle. Almost intercepted by number 0 of the Bessemer Tigers. Incomplete on the play. That will bring up 4th down. The ball is spotted at the 35-yard line. So I don't know if the Eagles will punt here or if they'll just go for it because of the field position. Quarterback back to pass. Throws it down the sideline. High arcing ball. and it's caught out of bounds. So that will be considered incomplete. Turnover on downs. It will be Bessemer ball with 7 minutes and 25 seconds in the first quarter. Throws it to the flats. Ball in and out of his hands. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Bessemer Tigers. Slant. And in and out of the hands of his wide receiver, and a late flag comes into that play. They'll wave the flag. Seeing that the ball was tipped, there's no pass interference there. Third and 10 for the Bessemer Tigers. Trips receivers to the bottom of your screen. Quarterback is in shotgun. They're getting an audible from the sideline. Throw it to the flats over the head of his would-be receiver, and it's an incomplete pass. That'll bring up 4th down for the Bessemer Tigers. And a lot of pass heavy in this opening drive for the Tigers. Not really usually their style of offense. They are known as a pound and ground type of team. Ball is spotted approximately at their own 33-yard line. Let's see if they elect to punt here. I'm sure they don't want to give the Georgia Eagles good field position early in this game. Punt is up. It hits a player, and it's fielded right there, and he'll be gang tackled immediately right at the 40-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will set up their offense. 9 and under semifinals here in Panama City. YNC preseason championships. The winner of this game goes to the championship rounds tomorrow here on Championship Sunday. Hand off right-hand side. He has some room. Still on his feet. Gets close around the 30-yard line. Hand off once again to the right-hand side. That'll be enough to move the chains for the Georgia Eagles. Handoff right off tackle. Not a lot of room. There may be a gain of 1. Ball on the ground, and they'll recover it as the quarterback to center exchange was no good. Late flag. It looks like it's going to be a dead ball flag against the Eagles. Let's see what they do. What's the call here? Unsportsmanlike on both teams. It'll be an offsetting penalty. That's usually when the language is a little rough in that huddle. Handoff left-hand side. He'll be tackled hard at the point of attack by number 6 from the Bessemer Tigers. It will be Bessemer ball going the opposite way with 4 minutes and 9 seconds in the first quarter. Handoff, left-hand side. Big number 5. Flag comes in. And that's going to be a holding call against Bessemer Tigers. That'll back them up 10 yards. Throws out to the flats. Has some room, has some block. Gets around the corner. And he'll be pushed out of bounds. Reception by number 0 for the Bessemer Tigers. After that holding call, that'll get them past the original line of scrimmage and make it 2nd and 6 for the Tigers with 3 minutes and 28 seconds in the first quarter. Play action. Quarterback calls his number on the other side. Not a lot of room there as the Eagles are all over it. No gain on the play. 3rd and 6. Deep out, makes a player miss, cuts back in, gets across the sticks. It's going to be a foot race. He's to the 50. He's to the 40. He's to the 30. He's to the 20. And he's caught at maybe the 15-yard line. Big play by the Bessemer Tigers. Hand off to number 5. Pulls his way through a couple tackles. Strong run for maybe 8 on his carry. Brings up 2nd and 2 for the Tigers. They're in a hurry-up offense. Signal from the sideline, and Eagles call timeout. They want to talk about it here on Generation X Youth Sports Network. Interception coming back the other way. It's going to be a foot race.
Woo, let's go.
Big stiff arms.
Let's go.
Touchdown, Georgia Eagles.
I'm sleeping on this shit.
Big INT for the Georgia Eagles. And it looked like he would get tackled, stiff-armed, and went the rest of the way. What an individual effort by the defensive back as he takes it to the house. What awareness to stiff-arm and stay on his feet. And the extra point is good. Your score, ladies and gentlemen, is 8-0. We got a flag on the play. Let's see what it is. But big play by the Georgia Eagles as they had a pick six for almost 80 yards. Did you see that speed and did you see that stiff arm? Got to tell you, it's been some great football out here, a lot of barn burners. If you've been tuned in all weekend, these kids have been laying it on the line and leaving it all out on the football field. That was a Derrick Henry type of stiff arm. Well, not only a stiff arm, but he kind of gripped him and threw him. It was a grown man stiff arm, absolutely. 42.8 seconds left in the first quarter. Georgia Eagles go up 8-0 over the defending national champs, Bessemer Tigers. Yes, we had to escort Rail out of the press box and let him go out there and celebrate with his team. No bogeys on the set. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, the score is 8-0. Georgia Eagles over the Bessemer Tigers. After a pick six, they get ready to kick it off to the defending national champs. Let's see how Bessemer will respond to that touchdown. So the Tigers will set up their offense around the 31-yard line. Big hit by the Georgia Eagles. Clock winds down in the first quarter, 8 seconds. Let's see if they'll get a playoff or if they're just going to wait to flip the field, and that's what they'll do, ladies and gentlemen. So the first quarter is in the books here at Panama City, 8-0, Georgia Eagles over the Bessemer Tigers. punt is up. Catches it on the run, and he'll be tackled right away. Ball will be fielded at the 46-yard line. 8 minutes and 27 seconds in the second quarter. Georgia defense really stepping up to the plate right now, containing the Tigers thus far. Tigers' deepest penetration ended up being an INT, pick 6. That's the only score of this game. Handoff follows his block. Flag on the play. And that's usually where holding is at. Handoff, he has some room. He's going to be out to the races. It's going to be a foot race. Stiff arm. Still on his feet, stays in bounds. Touchdown, Georgia Eagles. I think they're going to call a face mask on the offensive player. I'm not sure, but that's what they call. Face mask on the stiff arm. And that usually can go any way. That's part of football. But the problem is when you grab the face mask and you tug any particular way, they'll call it. So that pulls a touchdown. It takes points off the board for the Georgia Eagle teams, and they'll back them up from the spot of the foul, 15 yards. And they'll count that off from around the 20-yard line. So they should get the ball close to around the 35-yard line. And so it will be 1st and 10 Georgia Eagles, but that has to put a little concern in the defense of this Tigers team, as seeing that this Georgia Eagles offense can strike on them as they did. Georgia Eagle comes out in a wishbone formation. Misdirection. And a nice play, but read great by the middle linebacker for the Tigers, and he delivers a big hit. Seven minutes and 16 seconds in the second quarter. Georgia Eagles, 2nd and 10. Just looked like they would they added to their score. But from the stiff arm that turned to a face mask, came back 15-yard penalty. And so that brings them 2nd and 10. This time he swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose yards there, as the Tigers were in the backfield. And that touchdown seems to really got this Tigers defense a little upset. They're playing with a little attitude right now, as they want to make sure that doesn't happen again. That'll be a loss of 2 yards on the play, 3rd and 12 with 6 minutes and 14 seconds in the second quarter. And we'll have a timeout. Generation X Youth Sports Network, brought to you by AG Sports. Quarterback back to pass, rushes on. He'll try to roll out. 22 pursuing him. Calls his own number. Tries to get around the corner. And he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, but no more as the Tigers were pursuing him. Tried to set up for a pass, and the pocket collapsed very fast. And this Tigers defense has turned it up a notch after that big run. Quarterback back to pass. Here comes the pressure once again. Bessemer Tigers all over him. He breaks the tackle, and he won't break the second. And so after the big play, the story to be told is that the Tigers turned up defensively. And it'll be turned over on downs. Tigers ball, 5 minutes and 43 seconds in this first half. Quarterbacks and shotgun for the Tigers. Handoff right-hand side. Breaks to a tackle, still on his feet. It's going to be a foot race, ladies and gentlemen. He's pushed out of bounds. Flag is thrown. And it'll be holding against the Tigers on the right-hand side. They caught the right tackle grabbing the jersey of the defensive end, so they'll pull that back. So that's going to make it 1st and 20 for this Tigers offense with 5 minutes and 34 seconds in the second quarter. .448. Handoff right up the middle, and he's submarined right at, I want to say, the 32-yard line, making it 3rd and long for this Tigers offense. 4 minutes and 35 seconds left in the half. Tigers trying to get something going offensively against this tough Georgia Eagles defense. Quarterback back to pass. He'll throw it deep into triple coverage. And it looked like it's picked off. It's coming back the other way. The second interception of the day. This Georgia Eagles defensive backfield playing some football here in Panama City. Interception. Let's take a look at the play. Quarterback throws it into triple coverage. And you can tell the Eagles was ready for this play. They've been doing some scouting against this Tigers offense, and they were there to bring the ball down. Sets up shop midfield with 4 minutes and 16 seconds in the half. Twins receivers on both sides, top and the bottom of the screen. Handoff up the middle. Breaks to a tackle. Runs over one player. and maybe for a gain of 3 depending on the spot of the ball, bringing up 2nd and 7. Clock is ticking, approaching under 4 minutes now. Georgia's trying to add to their 8-0 lead already. Quarterback is in shotgun. Handoff once again. Breaks a tackle, runs over a player, but won't run over the second. Physical play in these trenches between the Eagles and the Tigers. Three minutes and 13 seconds. And clock is ticking against this Georgia Eagles. You're trying to get some offense, some confusion in the backfield, and that is going to be a delay of game as they couldn't get their offense set up the right way. Two minutes and 19 seconds left in the half. Georgia Eagles line up with 4 wide receivers, 1 back set, quarterbacks in shotgun. Handoff right up the middle. Has some room, stays on his feet. Nifty moves by the Georgia Eagles running back, showing you some acceleration. And he gets up a little gimpy, but jogs it off. Minute 48. 4th and short for the Georgia Eagles. 4 and maybe 3 yards. They'll come out 4 wide receiver wide again. Clock is ticking, and they're getting some last-minute instructions. Hand off, left-hand side. And he won't get there, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be stopped short. It'll be turned over and downs. With a minute and 14 seconds left in this half, the Tigers offense will come back out here and try to get something going. With a minute 14 left, they want some points. Thus far, the Georgia Eagles defense pitching a shutout against the defending national champs in this first half. Bessemer comes out 4 wide receivers, quarterbacks in shotgun, looks downfield, throws across the middle. Oh, big hit delivered. They're going to call targeting. Helmet to helmet there. And so that will be a 15-yard penalty, and it will stop the clock with a minute and 11 seconds. Big hit delivered. They'll walk that off. So that's a big chunk of yards advantage to the Tigers right there in crucial moments before this half expires. 1 minute and 11 seconds. Flips the field, gets across midfield now. Ball will be spotted close to around the 40-yard line. Spread formation once again sends a player in motion. Handoff is to 0. They'll do a jet sweep. He'll get across the line of scrimmage. And a flag. Oh, number 5 just tackles a player out there in the open field. And you can see that holding there. Play was past him, didn't need to do it. And he basically grabbed the player, and they'll call him off to the sideline after seeing that play. So they'll back him up 10 yards. And that's not the penalty you want to get while you're trying to put a drive together to potentially get some points before the half. Clock down to 45 seconds. Player in motion. Hands off the 0 on the same exact play to the jet sweep again. He'll be pushed out of bounds, no gain. Quarterback back to pass. He looks to the left. Throws it. Hits his would-be receiver in the face. Didn't watch the ball all the way in. Clock stops at 30 seconds. Brings up 3rd and very long for the Tigers. Tackled at the line of scrimmage. No room there. Georgia Eagles defensive line extremely active in this first half. Hitting everything at the point of attack. That's going to bring up 4th down. Tigers look a little confused here as they're not trying to get a play off before the half. 8 seconds and the clock is running. He'll call timeout if they burn about 10 seconds off the clock. So they'll try to get one more play off. 6.3 seconds left in the half. And you would assume that they're going to throw a pass. 4th and long for the Tigers. 6 seconds before the half. They trail 0-8 coming out in a spread formation, 4 wide receivers. He looks left. He'll throw it deep. Caught. Oh, and it's dropped at the last minute. He had it in his hands and dropped it. So incomplete pass leaves .2 seconds on the clock. Oh, and it's not 8-0. That does it for the half, ladies and gentlemen. Score is 8-0. Georgia Eagles over Bessemer Tigers. Second half action coming up right here on Generation X, powered by AG Sport. deep kick, and he'll need to fall on it. And the ball will be kicked deep, and I think that will be spotted close to around the 13-yard line. So an excellent kick for this Georgia Eagles opening the second half of action, as they will pin the Tigers deep in their own territory, and they'll need to drive the field at the top of this third quarter. Direct snap to the left-hand side, has some room. Gets across the sticks, and that's enough for a first down. Very nice run for Bessemer as they come out of this halftime break, and they look like they have a little bit of sense of urgency to them already on the line of scrimmage. And the Eagles will call an early timeout. They didn't like what they saw there. They're going to talk it over. Direct snap to number 0. He'll try to get around the edge. And maybe a gain of 2. Let's see where they mark him at. So he tries to get outside of the outside containment of this Georgia Eagles defense, but not a lot of room there. Brings up 2nd and 8. Top of the third quarter. Direct snap once again. This time he swallowed up for a loss of maybe 2 to 3 yards. Tackled in the backfield. It seems like the Tiger want to test the edges of this Georgia Eagles defense and was not successful trying to get out to the outside to the left. Handoff right-hand side. Cut down at the line of scrimmage. And this Georgia Eagles defense playing lights out thus far, pitching a shutout the first entire half and doing so much on this opening drive. 4th and 10 for the Tigers. Now, the ball is spotted at the 45-yard line. Let's see if the Tigers elect to punt. The clock is ticking as they're trying to get some personnel changes for the Tigers in and out. They'll get them to the line of scrimmage. High snap. Punt is up. It will take a Tigers bounce. And this is where the Eagles will set up their offense. going to have a false start. They're going to blow that dead. Well, no, they call it encroachment. So the movement on the line was caused by encroachment, offsides Tigers. First and 5, 7 minutes and 42 seconds in the third quarter. Big collision at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. Tigers all over it. No gain. Eagles rush to the line of scrimmage. They get set. Flags are thrown. And they'll be called for a false start. So they'll give those 5 yards right back. And they'll retry it down. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Ball is on the ground. And I think the Eagles are just trying to do too much as in regards to running up to the line of scrimmage, hurry up and snapping. So in football, you need to set for a second. And, you know, I don't know if it's a type of gimmick that they want to do to try to maybe catch the Tigers offline, but it's hurting them more than it is in helping them because they've had a penalty, false start, didn't allow them to set, then coming right back, snapper doesn't get the ball to the quarterback, just trying to do this hurry up, run to the line of scrimmage. So they'll probably just need to get back to the fundamentals of football, line it up. And this time they slow it down. They get to the line of scrimmage. They get their audible from the sideline, get set, and they get the ball off successfully this time. And he'll be cut down, maybe a gain of 2 yards. That's going to bring up 4th and 10 for the Eagles. 5 minutes and 55 seconds in the third quarter of play. Fourth down, 5 minutes and 29 seconds and ticking. And it looks like they'll elect to punt here. They're going to want to play a field position game. High snap. Punt is up. Goes straight up. Not a big net punt there. Maybe a punt, a total of 6 yards there. So not a big gain as what the Eagles would want. And there's a late flag that comes in there now. And I think that's going to be a sideline warning for the Eagles, as these referees are not going to let these coaches come out on the field if you're not in a timeout. First and 10 Tigers. 5 minutes and 12 seconds in the third quarter. Player in motion. He'll come back once again. Handoff to Zero as he tries to get around the corner. And not successful. They've been trying to get around the corner of this Eagles defense majority of this game. And a late flag once again. And sideline warning that the Eagles coaches are in the way of the play, and referees are not going to have that anymore. So it looks like he gave them their last warning, and that's it. Next one is going to cause them yards. Having a discussion on the sideline. And here the ref comes. So a little tussle on the sideline is what they were discussing. Two unsportsmanlike, one on each team will be offsetting penalties. They're giving the explanation to the Tigers coaching staff as well. And then he just told him the player, and so now that coach is letting that specific player know, hey, we're not here for that. Second and 12. Handoff right up the middle. Has a little block. Still on his feet. He'll be cut down at the original line of scrimmage. So that will bring up 3rd and 10 with 4 minutes and 34 seconds in the third quarter. Reverse, comes back the other way, has some room, still on his feet. Gets out across the 40-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th and maybe 4. Very manageable down and distance for this Tigers offense. Under 4 minutes left in the third quarter. They get an audible from the offensive coordinator now, changing the play as he scans the defense, sending in hand signals. As you can see, the whole team looking at him. And they're set. Play is in. Sends a play in motion. He'll come back, and we got a flag. And that is going to be a legal procedure on the Tigers. So that makes it 4th and 9. 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Offensive coordinator sending in plays again. Quarterback back to pass. He'll throw it in the backfield. And he's hit immediately. He'll lose yards. As they threw it in the backfield, trying to get a screen going, but the Eagles defense was all over that. That was 4th down, turnovers and down. So they'd be excellent field position for the Eagles as they will set up their offense around the 45-yard line. 3 minutes and 19 seconds in the third quarter. They have the lead over the defending national champs, 8-0. Hand off to the right-hand side. He's up in it at the line of scrimmage. No room there as both defensive lines have been playing solid football this entire game. The only score of this game comes on a pick six, an 80-yard touchdown return by the Eagles. Besides that, neither offense has scored in this game. That's going to be a false start. The running back came out of his stance, and that will back him up 5 yards. A penalty-plagued game thus far. False starts, holding, face mask, unsportsmanlike, sideline warning. So we got to clean this game up. And we know it's still preseason, ladies and gentlemen, but time to clean it up and get a clean game. Power formation. Comes back on the counter. Has some block. And he'll plow over a couple players and gets back to the original line of scrimmage with 1:56 in running. Brings up 3 and about 9.5 for the first. Hand off to the left-hand side. Maybe a half a yard. Not a lot of offense from both of these teams in this third quarter, as the win is going to the defensive line of both of these squads right now. Under a minute left in the third quarter. We're getting ready to approach the fourth quarter. And here the Eagles go again with the run up to the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they'll get the ball off this time with no problem. They'll sub a player off the line. Quarterback back to pass. Throw it out. And there's going to be a flag once again, ladies and gentlemen. They'll call an illegal shift against the Eagles. And so that should look like it's going to be turned over on downs. 30.6 seconds left in the third quarter. So that series there was not too clean for the Georgia Eagles, or real deal Eagles, you would say. A lot of penalties just backed them up, and with great field position, didn't make much of it, didn't get a first down out of it. So now the Tigers will have an opportunity once again to climb back into this game. First and 10, Tigers, 30.6 seconds left in the third quarter. And they'll call a timeout and want to talk about it. We need to get this game going in between these penalties and a little confusion for these offenses. We want to see a clean game. 30.6 seconds. 8-0 is your score. The Eagles over the Tigers right now here on Generation X Youth Sports Network, brought to you by AG Sports. Tigers call their own number. Quarterback tried to do a quarterback draw and nothing there. Clock winding down for this third quarter to expire. Under 10 seconds right now. Let's see if they'll get the playoff. He'll call his own number once again. Tries to get past this line of scrimmage. And none of these quarterback draws are working against these defensive lines. And these offensive coordinators are going to need to be a little bit more creative. These 9-year-olds are dissecting that overload with the direct snap to the quarterback. They're not going for it. So at some point, these offensive coordinators are going to have to realize that, hey, I'm going to have to either win by formation, get my athletes out into open field and open spaces so they can create some plays on. But overload and quarterback draw, it's not working tonight for either of these offenses. So we get ready for fourth quarter action. Let's hope these offensive coordinators can bring some excitement to the game, as both teams have been shut out offensively. The only score coming by a pick six by the Eagles thus far. Fourth quarter action here, ladies and gentlemen. Tigers. Direct snap once again. This time he has a little room and maybe a 4-yard gain. These offensive coordinators are going to go down swinging with the quarterback draws tonight. Love no money. 0 at the quarterback position, so they'll most likely be direct snapping it to him. And he'll follow his lead block maybe to the left-hand side. That's where the power set up, and that's exactly what they do. He'll follow his lead and big tackle. But if I'm calling the game and I can see that play and call it correctly, what do you think those defensive coordinators see and the kids see if they're overload and a running back is at the quarterback position? It's not hard to dissect. So at this point, the coordinators are hoping the kids break a play for them, but it's not by strategic formations that they'll get yards by. So fourth down. No, excuse me, turn over and downs. It will be Eagles ball. Eagles come out in a spread offense. Quarterback's in shotgun. They give it to their big back, and he'll drag a couple players with him. And that's a gain of 4. Spread formation once again. Handoff, and that's going to be a false start. Ball is on the ground. And the wide receivers did not get set. They were moving as the quarterback snapped the ball. So yet another flag. And they'll back them up 5 yards. Second and 12 for the for the Eagles. Second and 12. 8 minutes and 43 seconds in the fourth quarter. Eagles in spread formation once again. 4 wide receivers. Hands it off to the big back right up the middle. Breaks one tackle, won't break the second. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage and brings up 3rd and maybe 9.5. So the Tigers are no longer respecting the 4 wide receiver formation. Usually you'll have an outside linebacker go cover the slots and take away from the run support. This time they'll have trips to the bottom of your screen, and they're not covering the trips. They're not respecting. They feel that they're still going to run it, and so those linebackers are staying in, defend the run. Timeout. So these offensive coordinators are having an interesting time trying to acclimate into preseason. You guys keep it locked right here on Generation Next. We have 7 minutes and 35 seconds to determine who will move on to the championship round. And I can tell you one team that's been putting up points at this age division, So Icy, has been doing an excellent job as in averaging around 25 points a game. So whatever team faces So Icy tomorrow, they'll need to understand that they're playing a team that's averaging a touchdown a quarter. Down at the line of scrimmage, and I got to tell you, the defense is not honoring the 4 wide receiver. They know that they're just using that as a decoy, and they're leaving the interior of that defense intact. And usually you'll have some type of audible. Let's just say you come out in 4 wide receivers, and those outside linebackers still stay stacked in to defend the run. That means you'll have a slot that's uncovered. And usually those offensive coordinators can do an adjustment call and run what they call something like a wheel route. That means a slot will go behind the wide receiver and the other wide receiver to the middle, and usually that wheel route is wide open. Handoff right up the middle. And that will do it for that offensive series. Turnover on downs once again. So both defenses are standing tall right now. 6 minutes and 48 seconds. The Tigers will have an opportunity to score. Tigers come with trips to the bottom of the football field. So a different formation for the Tigers. Quarterbacks in shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the field. Quarterback back to pass. Throws it across the middle. Makes one player miss. And finally, you see one of these offenses that's willing to open it up. Completion caught by number 1. Comes out of their tight formation. Goes into a wide formation and throws for a completed pass. 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Trips now to the top of your screen. Single receiver to the bottom. No backs in the backfield. Quarterback throws it across the middle. And incomplete. Throws it a little low for his would-be receiver. Stops the clock at 6 minutes and 19 seconds. Brings up 3rd and 4 for the Tigers. Trips receivers to the bottom of the screen. Hand off to number 5 right up the middle. Breaks a run. And he looks like he's at the first down markers. It should be enough for a first. And the Tigers offense showing a little life. Let's see where they spot the ball. And they're calling it 4th. They are 4th in inches. 4th in inches. Direct snap to number 5. Runs for the first and more. He needed inches and he got around 6 yards. Five minutes and 31 seconds left in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5 still at the quarterback position. Direct snap once again. Plows over one player. Physical run. But only for a net of 1 yard. Brings up 2nd and 9. Clock winding down. 5 minutes and 9 seconds. Ball spotted maybe at the 35-yard line. This time they do a reverse. Comes back, slashes up the field. About a 6-yard gain. Brings up 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in this game. Direct snap to 0. He's hitting the backfield. He shot the gap. Tackled him in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards. Big play by the Eagles. Brings up 4th down. Very important 4th down for this Tigers offense. 4th and maybe 6. Call it 7. Chips receivers to the bottom of the screen. He'll roll to his right. He'll throw. It's incomplete. Turnover on downs. It'll be Eagles ball with 4 minutes and 6 seconds left in the game. So 4 minutes and 6 seconds determine who goes on to the championship round tomorrow. The score is 8-0, Eagles over the defending national champs. Handoff right-hand side. Has a little room. Pushes out for maybe a 5-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. 3 minutes and 53 seconds in this contest. Eagles taking their time going to the play now. They're worried about, or more concerned, I won't say worried, their game plan now is to take as much time off of each play in between snaps. They're in no rush. Tight formation, overload to the right. Coach tells him, hold up, don't hike the ball yet. Oh, and false start. Eagles. That stops the clock and backs them up 5 yards. Big mistake by the Eagles there. Helping the Tigers out. Allows the Tigers to go ahead and sub in between. They were ready to go ahead and snap the ball, but big penalty by the Eagles. Brings up 2nd and 10. Ball's on the ground. Eagles will recover it. Time out, Bessemer. 2 minutes and 43 seconds left in this game. They trail 0-8. Haven't shown any signs of being able to move this ball against this Georgia Eagles defense all night. Both of these teams will talk about it as the game winds down to 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Ball is spotted approximately on the 30-yard line. So you would have to think they'll run a play here, and then they would need to punt the ball because they wouldn't want to go for it on fourth if they do not convert the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 12. Handoff right-hand side. Has some room. Gets out close to around the 36-yard line. Makes the down and distance a little bit more manageable for this Eagles offense. Now, last time they punted, the punt was only for a net 6 yards. So that may go into the decision-making of this Georgia Eagles, real deal Eagles, if they're going to punt or if they're going to go for it, because they've only netted 6 yards on the punt before. So in their mind, they were like, hey, we might as well go for it. Since we're only netting 6 yards a punt, we have a 50-50 chance of making it if we go for it. We have a 0 chance of going for it if we punt. And if you're the Bessemer coaches, you have to be in the huddle saying, listen, watch the ball here. They're going to try to draw you off sides. They're going to try to give you the hard count. Don't give them a cheap 5 yards here. So coaching strategies between both teams right now coming into play. 2 minutes and 32 seconds in the fourth quarter. Eagles have not scored offensively. Neither has the Tigers. Both defenses have pitched, I want to say, shutouts. The only difference in this game is a pick 6 by the Georgia Eagles. Handoff left-hand side. Makes one player miss. Won't make the second miss. That will be turned over on downs. It will be Bessemer's ball. 2 minutes and 24 seconds left in this game. They have an opportunity to tie it up here. That's the best they can do. They won't be able to win it if they score with an extra point attempt. The best they can do here is tie it up and hope to go into overtime. But before we even talk about that, that takes a lot of things to do. They would need to do something they haven't done all night, and that's score. Secondly, they would need to be able to convert the point after attempt just to tie it up. So there's a lot of what-ifs for the defending national champs right now here in Panama City. Handoff to 0. He'll stutter step. He'll get swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Tackled for a loss. Real deal Eagles all over that play. Time is ticking as the Tigers are getting up slow, trying to reset in the same formation. Same play, handed off right up the middle, and this time it'll be about a gain of 5 on the play. Under 2 minutes now in the game, 1 minute and 54 seconds. Same formation once again. They'll get the play in from the sideline. Ball's on the ground. And while they're having this discussion, the clock is steady running. Minute 22 and counting. Clock is winding down. 4th down. And it's a timeout call here. A lot on the line on this 4th down call for the Tigers. You can basically say if they do not convert here, Eagles will walk away with the win. Guys, we want to thank you once again tuning in to Generation X Youth Sports Network, powered by AG Sports. A weekend of weekends here in Panama City. Top teams been going down. Big games have been going down. We promised you action. We are giving you action. There is nobody safe here in Panama City. Five wide receiver set for the Tigers. Haven't seen this look all night. No protection for the quarterback. Eagles showing blitz. They have the line of scrimmage crowded. Looks like they're bringing the house. And they do. Throw right across the middle, incomplete. And it'll be turnover and downs, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Eagles ball with 1 minute and 11 seconds in the game. They only have to take a couple of knees, ladies and gentlemen. It is game over on this 9 and under action. Big developments here in Panama City as the defending national champs have been shut out against the real deal Eagles. Eagles will take a knee, and the clock is running here. 1 minute and 7 seconds left in this contest. Eagles will take one more knee, and I'm sure you will see an explosion on their sidelines as they know this Bessemer Tigers team has been their nemesis for a while. A little bit of extra pushing at the end, but that does it, ladies and gentlemen. The Georgia Eagles, real deal Eagles, have knocked off the defending national champs here in Panama City in a defensive battle. 8-0 is your score. They will face So Icy tomorrow for the 9 and under Youth National Championship preseason battle.